We should be good here. All right, everyone, welcome back. Moonlighters Club is here. We have our first guest ever from, well, actually, my boy Rashad, I believe you met before, is from South Carolina, but he stays in Richmond. But that don't count.
Okay.
You're
Yeah,
from the
that'll
Richmond
count.
area, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Born and raised.
All right, man. I want everyone to meet OG Ella, Will, whatever
Yeah.
you prefer.
Yeah.
It's funny. I found out about you and Center and all of that. I was just looking for folks to interview. I'm based in DC. I'm from Boston, and I think, oh man, Rich. It was a Style RVA. Some like it's a Richmond magazine.
Style Weekly.
Style Weekly.
Yeah.
So I saw your space, and I've always been a fan of brick and mortar stuff. And I just thought it was really cool. So I was like, "Oh, Rashad, I saw this thing." He goes, "Oh yeah, I ran into that dude." Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, "All right, definitely gotta reach out." So
Word.
yeah, man. So yeah, let the folks know who you are, where you're from.
So my name is Will. Some people call me OG Illa or OG or Illa. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. Born and raised. I am the owner of the music shop and center in Richmond, Virginia. Part owner of Trick Dice Records and part owner of Virginia Creative Collective.
Nice, that's a lot, man. We're gonna get into all of those. Period. So I didn't get to Richmond for the first time until I moved to DC. My friend went down there. So I say like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, something like that. And one of my good friends is from there. And he just explained how much it had changed. So by the time I got there, you know what I mean? It's different
Yeah.
probably than when folks grew up there. What was it like
It's.
growing up there?
I mean, so for me, I have a crazier experience because I grew up in foster care. So I had like a lot of moving around and I experienced a lot of different things. But I think what he's, speaking about specifically is like the city part of it. And the city is drastically different. Just to give you a reference point, my freshman year of college at VCU, um, they basically like told us don't cross Belvedere, like don't go across Belvedere, like just stay in this little area, you'll be good. I'm from there, so I was like, man, I'm not listening to that. But that like now every day I'm across Belvedere from VCU technically now. I'm like
Yeah.
2 blocks away from the campus. Um, so they wouldn't have been walking over to my store technically. You know what I'm saying? They would have been like, hey, don't go over there. So but now, man, if you go through there, that whole area, it's, up and coming businesses. It's people walking down the sidewalks. It's, you know, neighborhoods behind it, kind of flourishing now. So it's definitely, had some great improvements and it's revitalized for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, and when I saw, that's why I tell folks, I'm like, yo, Richmond, and like my folks from up north, are like, what? And I'm like, it's not what you think, bro. It's not 1950. But
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
went, I liked it. I thought it was creative.
yeah,
I was able to just walk up and down Broad. So you're like, yo, there's opportunity here. So I
yeah,
thought it was really cool, man.
yeah.
So yeah, I can understand. I remember reading up about you when you were in music.
Yeah.
What spurred it? What got you into music, and what was the scene like in Richmond when you were coming up?
What got me into music was just my love of music. That question is a little tricky, but I just always loved music. And there became a point in my life where it just kind of felt the void in my life. And but the music scene is when I first came up is like so I came up when there wasn't a lot of venues and places and spaces for hip hop in particular to flourish. There's a time where we could only perform in Richmond in a little corner at a sushi spot downtown. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And there's a lot of pioneers that led the way during that time. Even before me. So I came up when it was a very like we were really breaking into the scene. You know what I'm saying? Real hard and changing the dynamic of how Richmond perceived hip hop and um, we're still doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's the great thing about it. The mission hasn't changed. The work is a little bit different or different level, or different in the essence of like, we're further down the road now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But the
yeah,
mission's the same. You know what I'm saying? We're further down the road now. So um, that was a big hump to get over to, and it's still something that we work on. Like I said, daily. We're working with the city. We're working with other folk to get that done. So for me, it's really good to see that happen because I'm like I've been part of it and part of
yeah,
the fabric of it for a very very long time, and I'm really proud of the strides we've made. And it's just good work to be part of. You know what I'm saying? We're building something special here, and I'm really excited about that. You know what I'm saying? So um, uh, so the biggest thing is like that. I think that people have started working together more than be in opposition.
yeah,
Back in the day, it was like, oh, this is my team, this is what we're doing, da da
yeah,
da, and
yeah,
like now, and like we would go to shows and we would stay for our set, and then we'd leave. Hey, I'm
yeah,
done.
yeah,
Like now we're like a lot of the people were working together, making money together, uh, throwing events together, shooting music, everything, making music together. So it's really in that aspect it's changed quite a bit, and for the better. So
That's
yeah.
what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up. So I was seeing when you were I read an article where you learned a lot of stuff because you were doing stuff on your own to help promote yourself, uh,
Yeah.
everything, right?
Yeah.
What'd you go to VCU for? If you don't mind me, like majoring and stuff like that.
So I didn't really have a major at VCU when I went. I went there because I had a soccer scholarship,
Oh,
so
okay,
I
okay,
went there to play soccer. So
yeah,
I ended up getting sick and not being able to play, um, and dropped out my sophomore year to pursue music.
got it. So
Yeah.
when you were doing music, did you ever see you doing something like this? Because in terms of music dreams, like I used to play instruments. It's always a career as like artist for me, and it's always like I want to make, and I want someone else to manage, do other stuff. I just love the feeling of making
Yeah. Yeah.
music.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Did you always have a different end goal? Because there are some folks who are like, no, I make music, but I want this to also be able to afford me the ability to do other stuff, build other foundations around it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Nah. When I was doing music and I was like a rapper and I wanted to be a rapper for a living, dog, I was all in. Like I'm all in on this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But it was when I wasn't all in anymore that I realized I was heading towards a different direction. Like I got good at doing stuff for myself, so other people were drawn to it and then asking me to do it for them. And I
yeah,
kind of fell in love more with that process of creating and collaborating with people more so than I did um, just doing my own thing. And I was very self-absorbed when I was a rapper. I was very self-centered and selfish and all of those kind of words, egotistical. So it was one a drastic change. It was a whole lifestyle change. But it felt natural, and I still get to work with the people, that still in the field that I love, and
yeah,
with the people that I love and stuff like that. So, but what's crazy is even though I didn't feel like that, most of the people around me felt like that about me. They would tell me like, "Hey, bro, when you're done with this, go do this other thing, like, because you're good at it." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And people will
yeah.
hire you for it, and you'll do this, and you'll da da da. So that was something it was always in the back of my mind. You know what I'm saying? To be real, it just you're not ready to quit until you're ready to quit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
basically, yeah. So
that's the toughest thing for all of us. Before I was doing this podcast, I was living in Boston. I was building a mobile app, and that app was like I just knew. I'm like, yo, it's this. It's this. It's like around the time social networks going blowing up. I'm like, I
yeah,
don't want to pivot. I don't want to do. And professors are telling us, everyone's like, you have to at some point if it don't work. But the
yeah,
whole time you're like, this can't not work. I have to do this. And it went to a point where, like, I remember starting this, and this was like in the cut. I'm like, I don't
yeah,
care.
yeah,
App,
yeah, yeah,
app,
yeah, yeah,
app. And sometimes you're forced to, but it's tough. But it's also that's why I like to see your path. because a lot of folks need to hear that. It doesn't mean the world is ending, right? Sometimes
Yeah,
you are good at two things. Sometimes the
yeah,
other thing blows up.
yeah. Well, I did a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do musically. You know what I'm saying? Like I toured, I was on the radio, I collabed with some folks that I really, really want to collab with. I didn't leave I didn't leave because I was like, oh man, I can never make it. I made money making music. You know what I'm saying? It just it didn't like there's a time when I was 22 and I sat my roommate, who was my partner at the time and the music shit, sat him down in a room. It was just me and him in the room, like empty ass room. Sat him down in a chair, and I literally like we were tripping shrooms. So take that into factor. And I literally like gave him this speech of how I was gonna have you know 20,000 people, 50,000 people, who knows what I said, screaming my name. And, we were going to be on stage rocking it and da da da. And, you know, my heart was all the way in it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
really thought I was, but, and then there was a time when, our rest in peace to my nanny, but right before she passed, like I was taking care of her before she died. And I came out my room. She was sleeping on the couch because she couldn't get out the bed at that point. And it's like early in the morning. I'm like, I didn't even know she was awake. I'm still in my drawers. You know what I'm saying? And she goes, "Hey." I said, "What?" She goes, "I understand you now." She's like, "I understand what you're trying to do, and you're gonna be one of the biggest to ever do it. I seen it in my dream last night. Like, you're gonna have. Sorry for the
Oh, it's all
fire
good.
trucks. You're gonna have, a huge crowd. You're gonna have da da da. But right, like, but we're doing that outside of just me being the person on stage. So
Yeah.
those things are still coming true. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and just to be very clear, like Nicholas F, who's the artist that I have signed, is the absolute truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is one of my favorite rappers of all time. I don't say that lightly. I mean that wholeheartedly. And we have a very good relationship, and we're like, I'm locked in on that happening, and we're making things like that happen. Like, like we just had a show the other day, sold out show. He was going crazy on stage. The vision's still the same, So
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to
Yeah.
say to you. It's like
Yeah.
it's just further down the road,
Right.
And that's what I think. If anybody's listening that can take something from that, is like, you know, I've been to shows, I've performed at shows, I've thrown shows where there's nobody there, and I mean literally nobody. I performed at a show where it was me and the promoter. I rapped to the promoter. You know what I'm saying? I've thrown shows where nobody showed up and the tickets were only $5. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just further down the road. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And we're about to announce we got festivals coming this summer. We've got collaborations with some other partners on Black Music Month coming up. All that stuff's about to be announced soon. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just if you gotta evolve, then evolve. Not everybody evolves. Like, you don't have to be like Nick's still he's been rapping since 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? But he's further down the road. But if you have to evolve, don't be afraid to evolve. Like it you'll know, because it's like things that are within yourself. Like when I'm making raps, my heart's not all the way in it. I'm not so excited about putting the project out. I just want to get it done.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So that I'm just using me as an example. There's a lot of different ways that that this might apply to somebody. But yeah. Long story short.
That's what's up. I like
Long story long.
I like when you talked about just like having those shows. I had another guest, Survival, from Boston, rapping. He would just talk about those days where he's like, you got to be okay with open mics, and it's just like, y'all, like, all that's part of the process to get to that end goal. And that's the beauty of it. Like, the whole notion of instant success, I hate it, because you wouldn't cherish things as much if it was that easy and that immediate. It's the fact
Yeah.
that you can, like, especially now with technology, you can see your first thing ever, and then you see your 50th and your 100th, and you see the growth that you put in. It's great. So that's cool to hear the progression. Um, so speaking of that, looking at the different things that you do, what once you're like you're pivoting from music, you're doing things for others. Of your ventures, which came first? Was it music management? Is that was your first creation?
Uh, graphic design, the branding
Okay.
aspect of it. That's actually what I feel like my God's gift is like I have the ability to brand really well. Like I just somehow I just get that part and it just makes sense to me. And I put a lot of time and effort into that. And that's what's got me all my other gigs, to be real. Like the fact that I'm able to cohesively brand, they're like, oh well, you can do it with this, you can do it with that. That proof of concept is major when it comes to this type of thing. You know, like I have proof of concept at something, and then I'm able to say, hey, I did this with this. Now let me do it with this. And they're like, well, it went well, or it looks good, or da da da. Yeah, go ahead and do that. And you know, that's more or less that's how I feel like it started was me learning graphic design, me getting good at branding, and then being able to like put my tentacles in, you know, other areas.
So then you were doing it for who are your most common customers? Was it artists, like just musicians, excuse me, that were
For
coming and
sure,
asking you?
for
Yeah,
sure.
okay,
My most consistent, but not obviously not my biggest. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that as an insult. It's just like the corporate companies, they pay much more money. So yeah.
oh, okay. You're doing the full gamut then. So you're doing it for individual creators. You're doing it
Oh
for
yeah, yeah,
company.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, you're getting it
yeah,
all across.
yeah. Like so, I can't. All right, I can't say anything about the festival thing. But all right, so there's a baseball company that I'm working with right now. We're doing the same thing for them. I've done
Nice,
restaurants. I've done clothing companies. I mean, yeah,
nice.
I've worked with Rock Nation and Sony, Orchard. You know, Dream Chasers, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's yeah, I've worked with landscaping companies. It's not for me. It's not about like the field really. It's just about
Yeah,
like one, is it something that I'm actually interested in, and then two is like you know what type of experience am I going to have here as far as like am I going to have to constantly battle with somebody or deal with like you know blah blah blah. I like to have some type of creative control over it. You know those type
yeah,
of things are things that I take into consideration more so than just the lane or the field.
yeah. I like it, man. I mean, it's and I like people who have actual tangible skills. Like you can do so much with it and grow it out. So it's
Yeah.
cool to see the range of it. So yeah, where I want to be able to talk about all your ventures. Where's the so you manage as well though, right? With the
Yeah. That
music shop.
yeah, I manage manage three artists.
Okay. I
Yeah.
swear, I feel like that's got to be the most hectic, like rewarding for sure. But to me, managing artists seems like the craziest thing because there's so many tasks involved.
Yeah, yes. So that's why you gotta have a strong team, one, and then two, you gotta have art. That's why I only have three artists now, um, um, because we both got to align. And I don't mean that as like an insult thing, but I mean like just because you have a vision for somebody doesn't mean that's what their vision is for themselves. So you
Mm,
have to have a real clear. It's just like everything else, right? Like
yeah,
music management and Pepsi are the same thing to me because it's like, yo, what's the goal? All right, cool. Can we align on that goal? If so, let's create a plan and take the steps towards the end of that plan and achieve the goal.
yeah,
That's all. That's all my business is. I swear to God. So, you know, I manage that. I go into that with all of my business ventures of like, that's it. That's all it is, broken down into three simple things. You know what I'm saying? Like discovering a goal, like creating a plan, a step by step plan to get into that goal, and then executing it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So that's how because I do. That's what the music shop is. Where we do project management. So that's all my life is. It's just I just look at everything like that and then just move accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that's with the musician part of it, it's the same aspect. It's just because I'm trying to say this delicately. Uh, music is a form of self-expression, and it's something that artists like keep near and dear to their heart, right? Like
Mm,
it's not work to them. They're in the business, but regardless of how many times you explain it, it's not work to them.
Right.
It's life. It's art. It's expression of self. You know, it's all of these type of things. Um, with that being said, it's not so easy to be like, hey, this isn't going to work. They're going to push boundaries and for good things, because when you get great artists, you're going to get amazing things, like, out of it, and I happen to manage some exceptionally talented people, which I'm blessed to do. You know what I'm saying? But it's not it's a lot of emotion involved.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trust involved, a lot more trust. Because like when you're doing stuff with businesses, it's like, all right, get this done so we can do this, and this, right? But
Yeah.
like a lot of that execution on it comes up to me in those kind of things. It's like, hey, create this for me, and then run this. Maybe run ads and do da da da, right? But that feels like a lot under my control, and there's like a number system and a mathematical way of like explaining if this works or not, right? With music, there's not it's not like that. Like you're trusting that like the artist knows how to connect with their fans, and how to create moments, and how to like you got to trust that, like, okay, if they want to change a verse on a song, that it's going to improve the song, or da da da. And it's not that's none of that stuff is under my control.
Mm.
So what I'm saying, I'm now trusting them to like give me a solid product that I can take to market and do and help do. And knowing I have a system to make things work, and uh, taking it to market. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
You
So
cut off. You cut off for a little bit, but we got it. We got the
okay,
gist.
all
Yeah.
right, bet. So yeah, and I'm sorry for the long rants. I just like to
Oh no,
explain, like,
no.
yeah. It's it's just a different process. So I will say it's a little bit more hectic. It's a little bit more stressful. But it's also where my heart is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that it's for me too. It's the same thing that's hurting me is the same thing that keeps me in it. So
And and
yeah,
uh, and I appreciate you going into this much detail, because the point of this is the majority of people we've talked to are working full time, or while they're trying to get something off. So it's all about the
yeah,
nitty gritty. They're figuring out, okay, I got a couple sales, I got some revenue going. How do I really grow this and expand this? And the majority of folks we've interviewed, a lot of creatives, or they're just doing something that comes natural. So, like you said, it doesn't seem like work. But
it
when they
does.
improve their skills on that day-to-day stuff, the communication, the project management, that's when they start to see the change. So I appreciate you explaining the process. Um,
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of this comes, based on your experience. A lot of this stuff you're comfortable with comes natural. Is there any part of the business side of things that doesn't come that you don't like doing, or that is uncomfortable, that you would like to get better on as time goes on?
Yeah. And the biggest thing that I've worked on in the last year or so, which I've been getting much better at, is time management. Uh, being able to say no to things. Um, being able to manage my expectations realistically. Like a lot of entrepreneurs are like, "Hey, I'm gonna get everything done today,"
Yeah.
but that's like not a realistic way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're never gonna get everything done, and if you do, then you're in trouble because your business is done. You know what I'm saying? So like uh, that those things are the things I've worked on very hard this year, and I've done. I feel very proud of myself.
Nice.
The thing that I still have trouble with is two things. I don't have a college education, and I don't have that degree to certify me on certain things. So there are times I have imposter syndrome because I am fortunate to be in rooms with some very brilliant, very wealthy, very important, all of put whatever, adjective, or synonym, whatever you want to put in those spaces, right? So sometimes I do have imposter syndrome because I'm like, I'm in this, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
chilling. I'm like first off, I'm outside my building, so nobody
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
tripping. Yeah. They're like, oh, where's he at? But no, I'm in like some casual wear because I don't
Yeah.
change how I dress, no matter if I'm out, if I'm in the board meeting, meeting the city manager in Virginia Beach, or if I'm at the shop, like right now. So, um, you know, I do have imposter syndrome sometimes. That does hit me from time to time. And then um, the I know how to make money. Like I am good at like getting money to come in constantly. Like that's a skill that I have, right? But after that, I don't care. Like, you know
Mm,
what I'm saying? So I think that I could improve methods to make my money work better for me.
yeah.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? I need somebody like and I do have, a bookkeeper, thank goodness, because if I didn't, I wouldn't even have my taxes done. Shout out Amber, love you, girl. Um, but she was my manager when I was a musician, and now she's transitioned over to being my bookkeeper as a business owner. Um, uh, but I just don't. I'm not. I really I love business. Like I love
Yeah.
the work of it and everything, and the process. But I don't care about. I'm not really moved by money.
Yeah.
So, like the thing is I've grown my business 30% every year since I started it in 2021. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I know that I'm in six figures now. I know that. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
just, so this year in particular, I'm being much better about that because it's not about just me. I'm doing this because I have a family. I have three kids. I have a fiance. I'm about to get married next month. I'm about to move in a house.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm about to move in a house in June. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some real life situations with this. Um, so I want to become better for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know we're talking about business, and I'm probably like the antichrist just saying I don't care about money. It just doesn't move me. I'm a creative at heart. Productivity moves me more than anything. That's like I've noticed like when things are productive, boy, I'm in a good mood. I'm all about life. When there's no motion, I'm just like, yo, what the hell? Like you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
for me, it's just like I would, even getting a business partner who to focus on that part would be great. You know what I'm saying? So, there's some things that like that I definitely can improve on, and um, uh, because there's growth and things that I want to do that I could manufacture myself if I handle some of those things better. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Imposter syndrome is most common on this podcast. Most folks that the 150 plus people we've showcased, it's the same. People either coming from places of poverty, people of color. As someone I've never met you before, you're definitely not an imposter, bro. Like you got your shit together, and you're using your skills in the right way. So I feel it, a lot often. Um, but yeah, it is something that's prevalent, and I understand what you mean. Like there's times I'm just surrounded by like my wife has an MBA, she does all that, she's great. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
any of that. So there are times where we're out and I'm just like, you know what? And then I rebel kind of. I'm like, man, fuck this, But also it's like, nah, I've gotten better at just being assured, like, nah, man, I have just the right to be anywhere as anyone else. I can work hard. I know what I do. And
yeah.
yeah,
Because it's crazy because a lot of them are intimidated by me as well because
yeah,
I was able to just jump off the porch and make something happen. There's people I've been around and they reassure me that I'm on the right path, like because they do have an MBA and they still haven't started their business. Did I
yeah.
freeze?
Oh yeah, you did. You
My
did. Now
bad.
you're back. You're good.
Okay, okay. So they're like, they haven't started the business and it's been 5 years because they're too analytical, too risk assured,
Yeah.
not enough faith in self. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I will say that even though I do have imposter syndrome, I have like a idiotic amount of self-confidence. So
Good.
I
Good.
definitely
Good.
I feel assured like if I get the task, I'm going to be able to complete it. Because I'm just like, because like you said, even if it's on some like rebellious shit, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm gonna get it done just because you said I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've done things like that before.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
What's
it.
up?
Yeah.
Well, in respect of time, I don't want to take up all day, but I do need to ask what the center is. If you could describe what that is to the folks.
Yeah. So all right. So I own a company called the OG Design. The music shop portion of that is project management. The center portion of that is a creative space. So in our building, we have uh, um, retail in the front. We have an event space. We have a barber shop, a tattoo shop, and a recording studio. It also serves as like, you know, video, the event space, the creative space we call it. We do events there. We have movie nights there. We do video photo production there. It also doubles as an art gallery. It's at 318 West Broad Street. See us big yellow window that says CNTR in Richmond, Virginia. But yeah, that it's a I like to consider it like a haven and a building ground for creative businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the clothing companies are Virginia owned. All the artists are Virginia artists. You know, it's just like a ecosystem for creatives and creative companies.
I saw it online. I love the space. I
Thank you,
love the idea for it.
man.
How does it feel to be? How does it feel to come full circle from rapper on stage now? You are a stage now. You are a literal actual platform, man.
Yeah. No. I mean, I feel good, man. Like to be real, like that's one thing I just had a conversation with my godmother about is that like I feel like I'm walking in my purpose, so I feel like I'm able to like relax a little bit. Like, and I never felt like that when I was a musician, and not because I didn't feel like I was walking my purpose, because I was never satisfied. Like I
Mhm.
remember doing the show, and I know this is a rant, and I'll stop after this. I was in the show in New York at the end of my tour, and I killed it, bro. I mean, hundred plus people there. Dude, people in New York knew my song. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they were rapping it with me. Like it's a big moment. And I just remember being upset after. I was like, why wasn't it 500? You know, like, and then doing a 500 person show. I'm like, why wasn't it 10,000? You know, and for some reason, I just never got that. To me personally, got that type of satisfaction when I was doing the music as opposed to as I am now. So I'm like, for me, it's just like I'm glad that I'm able to shift that thing because it's making me a better person. It's making me a better father, a better partner. Um, so, um, I'm good. Like I'm really good. And just so everybody knows too, like I randomly still drop music. Like I still that part of me is still alive. I just don't want to be a rapper anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I just, but I've been rapping like I've been a rapper since I was 18 really. Like that's when I hopped off the porch. So most of my adulthood identity is tied to being OG Illa. Like for a long time people didn't even know my name was Will. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So
Okay.
yeah, real shit, bro. Like, cause I just like, yo, you couldn't even find it on the internet. When I did interviews, I would be like, yo, don't put my name on there. I was really like, I was really a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
loved it. But I'm just glad that God's afforded me the opportunities that He has, and that I'm proud of myself for listening to Him. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
Yo, man, this is cool, man. It's I first of all, I could talk to you for like hours because I feel like there's so much more to learn, like from your
Yeah,
like
let's hop on again. Let's hop
yeah,
on again. Let's
yeah,
do another one. You know what I'm
we
saying?
got
And
it.
and,
We got to do it
and
again,
let's
man.
get Nick on here one time, man. Let's get Kane on here. I'll
Absolutely.
get you some real conversations going.
Absolutely, man. At one point I'll share the stuff we've done in Baltimore. We've done showcases from Boston, to Baltimore, where we set up stages and
Okay,
have
is that
people
where you're
basically
based?
shoot. I'm in DC right now, but most of the stuff I do is in Baltimore. But yeah,
Oh, then I
I'm
definitely
right.
gotta link you with Rudy because Rudy just started a nonprofit and part of it benefits kids in Baltimore.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure,
yes.
man. Yeah,
So I'm gonna link y'all too. That's dope.
yeah, man. But yo, we'll We're gonna definitely catch up again. First of all, I'm gonna have to come check your shop out. I'll be in Richmond soon,
Yes.
actually.
Yeah. And
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna send you my number too. Let's just stay in contact.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, bro.
Before is where can people find you? If you feel free to shout out
Okay.
anything you want to.
Yeah. Everything at the MSQ shop. TheMSQshop.com. MSQ means music, just so y'all know that. And then for center, it's mycntr.co or mycntr on Instagram.
Hey, Will
Yeah.
Ogiela, man, this is great, man. This is
Thank
the
you, bro.
I needed this. I always like doing these because I get invigorated after it's happened.
Yeah, man, get to work, bro. I
Yeah,
love it when I see other people who are, like hustlers, man. That's like the best thing to me.
absolutely, man. But everyone listening, if you're ever in the Richmond area, man, Ogiela, the center, man. This is you build an institution, bro. This is
Yeah,
awesome, bro.
bro. Working
Yeah,
on it, man. Thank you, bro.
absolutely. Everyone else out there, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
All right, yeah. Peace.